One of our favorite events of the year there in Old Town Clovis. Welcome to Central Valley Today, everybody. I'm Alex Delgado.
And I'm Stephanie Bainham. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And we're going to start with a big hallelujah for the rain.
Yes, yes.
For the rain. And while many of us are thankful it's finally starting to feel wet around here, it is important to also remember that wet roads aren't exactly the safest.
That's right. You know, sometimes we forget that we need to slow down when we're driving. So today we're going to give you just another friendly reminder and of course other tips on how to drive safely in this rain. So please help me welcome Officer Rob Montano with the California Highway Patrol with our weekly CHP visit. Today it's so fitting that we're talking about safe driving on wet roads. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Busy
It is
time.
very, very busy.
And you said yourself you just drove over here, you left a little early, you took your time. Those are some basic tips. Fill folks in.
Yes, so that's exactly what we want to do. The number one thing we see is people still driving a little bit too fast in the rain. So reduce your speed. You know, the maximum speed is not the speed you're required to travel in the rain. So if you have to go on the freeway, if you're going 60, 55 miles per hour because you need to slow down, then by all means you have to do so.
Yeah. And you also mentioned, of course, leave earlier if you have an appointment or if you're taking kids to school in the morning or going to work. So that's pretty obvious. But let's talk about windshield wipers and headlights, too, because a lot of the times we don't even realize we need to switch the wipers out. Right?
Yes, so we always suggest switch them out yearly. So, and another reminder, when your windshield wipers are activated, so do your headlights have to be activated as well. That's California law. Okay. So they have to be both activated at the same time. So every year, go out there, take a look at your windshield wipers, and when you purchase new windshield wipers, look at how long they last, the longevity of the wipers, because each wiper is different.
Good to know. And I just love giving folks these reminders because we are just not used to driving in the rain, are we? What are some things that CHP sees once we do get some wet weather? What do you see out there?
A lot of hydroplaning, unfortunately. Driving through standing water, we don't know how deep that water is going to be. So if you see standing water and you can try to avoid it, reduce your speed, do so. Try not to accelerate through puddles. I was just coming down from Oakhurst last night at an event, and it wasn't raining anymore, but the lights during the night, I could actually see the oil on the roadway and how that could quickly turn into a dangerous situation if you were to slide on that oil. So simply just slow it down, and that helps alleviate a lot of other problems.
Are you guys giving more tickets right now because it's raining and people are just driving erratically?
We do see people just don't change with the weather.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we were excited to see that 100 triple-digit degree weather take off, now we have a whole new cause for concern. So officers are out there actively looking for people driving dangerously, and if enforcement action needs to be taken, then they're out there to do so.
That's good advice, though. Change your driving patterns while the weather changes. Good to know. Okay, and Officer Rob, if we do have an emergency, what steps do we need to take? Because I wouldn't know what to do, let's say, if I ran off the road. What should I do?
Or you hydroplane?
Yeah,
or something,
hydroplane. I just wouldn't know what to do. I'd just probably start crying.
We mentioned before on the show, it's good to have a plan. So no one intends for an accident to happen, right? That's why it's called a traffic collision. It's an accident. So if something were like that to happen, what we try to do is get you off of the freeway as quickly as possible. That will help make sure you're not rear-ended by another vehicle. The freeway is a very dangerous place. So if by all means, let's say you get a flat tire on the freeway and it's raining or whatnot, try to exit the freeway if you can. Now, if there's no exit in sight, go ahead and just slowly yield to the shoulder of the freeway, throw your hazard lights on and give 911 a call, and we'll send an officer out to assist you.
Here's what I've always wondered. Let's say you do get into an accident and you move to the side of the road that's near the exit, but let's just say you got a flat, so you can't move your car. Can you walk off the freeway and make the call where there's a safer location?
Ideally, we want you inside the vehicle with the safety seat belt on.
Making that call?
Making that call. You have metal around you protecting you, especially when it's raining. You don't know what vehicles are going to be doing. Vehicles tend to speed. They might not see you trying to get off the freeway. They might veer off the road and unfortunately hit you. So pedestrians on the freeway are never allowed. It's illegal. And not only is it illegal, it's extremely dangerous. So stay in your vehicle if you can. Now, if you're extremely, extremely nervous, put your seatbelt on, jump on the passenger seat away from traffic and just hold on for help to come. That's the best suggestion we give.
That's great tips. And so when you do call 911, do you say, I need CHP, or you just tell them their emergency and you guys get dispatched?
Yes, so 911, you have to have a few things in mind. You have to know where you're at. So always know your location. Hey, I'm State Route 99, I'm approaching the 180. Which direction? Are you going north or are you going south? That will expedite the arrival process of an officer and your help. So it's good to have that in mind. 911 dispatchers they're professionals, they're amazing. So they're gonna explain to you what you need to do to stay safe. That's their job.
Yeah.
What if you see someone driving crazy on the freeway when it's raining? Do you call 911 on them? Because sometimes I feel like, you know, oh, that person's not driving correctly or maybe too fast, but I don't want to bother the 911 operator. Believe it or not, sometimes I think that.
Yeah.
So you can call on reckless drivers.
Okay.
If you have a passenger, the most ideal situation is have your passenger
them.
call for you. But at some point, let's say, for example, you get behind a vehicle who's having maybe a medical experience, or maybe you think they're intoxicated, and they're weaving all over the road, and they're a danger to other motoring citizens on the freeway. Give them a call. Explain where you're at, identify the vehicle you're concerned about, and we'll broadcast that to an officer. And if there's an officer nearby or an officer close to the area, then we'll go ahead and send that officer and they'll look. So yes, always report.
Great to know. Good question. Yes, call 911 in case you feel unsafe or you're in a bad situation. And I love what you always say, and we're out of time, but you guys drive for a living. So don't try to fool you. You know what to look out for.
Yes, we see a lot. Yes.
So be safe, especially on those wet roads. And thanks so much, Officer Rob, for filling us in.
Thank you so much for having me. See you next week.
Of course.
Still to come, a car show to honor and support those who put their lives on the line for us every single day. We've got details on the Fallen Hero Car Show when we return.